Jake's body to a private facility for testing, and it might already be too late. Jake's mom continuing to fight to get a test administered. Well, family members are raising concerns about their loved ones in prison, and now there is a petition to reduce overcrowding during this pandemic. 2 Works View's Katie Kelleher spoke with those working to make some changes.
They didn't receive death sentences, and unfortunately, some of those may pay that price.
Jonna Wolf's fiance, Griffin Davison, has been at the Dick Connor Correctional Center for nearly 2 years. She typically talks to him every day, but hasn't heard from him since Saturday.
And the fact that I haven't got a phone call is the most terrifying time. And we've been through riots. You know, we've been through lockdowns.
She says they're both worried about the prison facilities during the coronavirus pandemic. So she's been writing to top Oklahoma officials looking for answers.
Because of all the other competing concerns of a public health crisis, these people that have already essentially been granted a sentence reduction are just sitting in there being exposed potentially to a virus.
Inmates now remain in their cells except for necessary services and are being given bars of soap and masks. But Colleen McCarty is hoping to do more. She started a petition to get the Oklahoma Pardon and Parole Board to reduce the prison population. She says the board is already reviewing 500 commutation applications next week, but that won't be enough.
What inmates have been tested, how many, what is the protocol, who gets tested.
She's also asking that the board members work more than the 4 days a month they currently do, and more resources for investigators and staff. Meanwhile, Wolf's fiance is supposed to be released in August. Until then, she and McCarty will use their voices, hoping that will be sooner.
If we sit back and do nothing, we are failing them because they cannot be heard from in there.
If you'd like to check out the petition or the Facebook page for it, you can find those links in this story on our website, kgrh.com. Katie Kelleher, 2 Works for You.
As the coronavirus pandemic continues to grow in Tulsa County, one North Tulsa woman is braving the storm to feed those in need. Carolyn Waugh is a member of Greenwood's Vernon Chapel and delivers meals to the elderly not able to leave their homes. Carolyn says she's been following CDC guidelines long before the pandemic.
I've always tried to be very cautious, and when I was working, I did training on management of serious and infectious diseases when I worked for the Office of Juvenile Affairs. So this is not new to me.
Carolyn and other members of the church prepare the meals daily and they pass them out at noon. If you are in need of food assistance, just contact Vernon Chapel at 918-587-1428, and you do not need to be a member.
Now, your 2 Works for You first forecast, sponsored by Executive Homes.
Another mild night after summer-like temperatures in Oklahoma today. 2 Works for You meteorologist Brandon Woolley checking in from home tonight with our first forecast. Hey, Brandon.
Hi, Karen. Certainly another preview of summer today, just like yesterday, but today was record-breaking. Take a look at the record-breaking heat across the area and a shot from our Executive Home Sky 2 drone taken from Midtown Tulsa. So today in Tulsa, it was 93 degrees, shattering the old record of 89 from 2011. McAllister, 95 degrees, even warmer, breaking the old record of 87 from 1991. Take a look at our live shot from Brookside. Smoky conditions. We're going to talk about that coming up. This part of Dave's Claremore RV Weather Camera Network, and those temperatures now from the 70s to right around 80. We'll take a look at your 10-day forecast, Karen, in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Well, the number of coronavirus cases has now topped 1.5 million worldwide. Despite new hotspots growing around the U.S., there are encouraging numbers out today about the number of U.S. deaths. NBC's Susan McGinnis has more.
The United States, in the midst of one of the most dire weeks yet for coronavirus losses, models show 61,000 Americans may lose their lives by August, but that's half of what was originally projected.
Numbers are changing, and they're changing rapidly, and soon we'll be over that curve, we'll be over the top.
Getting the credit, Americans' diligence in following social distancing guidelines.
We are still in awe, really, of the American people's strength in this and following through.
President Trump wrestling with the timing of getting Americans back to work soon, but not too soon.
We're hopefully heading toward a final stretch, the light at the end of the tunnel, as I was saying.
The death toll rising today past 14,000, with New York setting another single-day death record and facing an expected peak in the next 24 hours.
The bad news isn't just bad. The bad news is actually terrible.
But the good news is cases and hospitalizations in New York appear to be leveling off, an indicator the stay-at-home order is working.
We need to keep mitigating. We know that this is something that is a strain on the American public, but it's just something that we have, not only the only tool, it's the best tool.
The CDC also issuing new guidelines allowing some essential workers who are exposed to the virus to return to their jobs if they are asymptomatic and follow strict guidelines to protect others. Susan McGinnis, NBC News, Washington.
And we're getting a look at what it's like to be on the front lines of the coronavirus pandemic through the eyes of a doctor in New York City. Dr. Sunam Ahmed is a critical care physician at Mount Sinai Hospital. She used her cell phone to document the night shift as she and her team work to stabilize the more critically ill COVID-19 patients. Her job is to put the patients on ventilators and make a smooth transfer to the intensive care unit. She says even in the midst of the crisis, she's hopeful.
This is what we've trained for. We know that this is what we have to do, and we know that we're well equipped to do it. I also feel hopeful because despite how challenging my night will be, we hear good things every day.
New York City remains the epicenter of the current outbreak, with more than 4,500 deaths and more than 6,000 losses statewide. A nursing facility in California had to be evacuated today after the employees didn't show up to work for a second day because of the pandemic. As a result, 84 patients from the nursing home had to be moved to other care centers. There have been 34 confirmed cases of coronavirus among those patients and 5 among employees at the 90-bed center. 33 licensed vocational nurses were sent over to fill in for the employees who didn't show up to work. Next at 10, from customer service in person to online, the new plan a Tulsa woman's putting in place to keep her business going. And if you're not sleeping well right now, you're definitely not alone. Some advice on getting the rest you need in these trying times. Just ahead on 2 Works for You at 10. A business still open for the community is nestled in the shops of Peoria in North Tulsa. The boutique was established in May of 2016 and features a range of clothes and accessories for women. Shop owner Shavonna Caldwell is determined to stick around by staying strong throughout the pandemic. For her, staying open is more than keeping her business. It's a way for her to diversify North Tulsa's economy. Caldwell says she took the leap of faith to be an entrepreneur to help enrich her community, and it's why she hopes all small businesses will be supported during this time.
It's really the lifeblood of the community, our small businesses. You know, we're here, we're familiar with the areas, we love the areas that we're in.
Look for the link to browse the boutique online, plus their store hours in the We're Open Green Country section of KGRH.com. Now, if you haven't filled out your census form yet, well, expect to get a reminder in the mail. The U.S. Census Bureau is planning to send out paper forms to about 65 million households they haven't heard from yet. So far, the response rate is approaching about 50% nationally. Nebraska, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan are leading the way with the most people replying online. The Census Bureau has suspended its door-to-door survey due to the coronavirus. That's usually the most effective way to reach rural and poor communities. Well, Marriott has committed to providing $10 million worth of hotel stays for healthcare professionals. Rooms for Responders will provide free rooms in some of the areas most impacted by coronavirus: New York City, Newark, New Jersey, New Orleans, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, and Washington, D.C. The rooms being set aside for those who are leading the fight against COVID-19 in the United States. Square and Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey pledged $1 billion to fight the coronavirus. Dorsey says his pledge is up to 28% of his net worth. He says the money would come from his earnings in Square, not Twitter. The donation is the biggest contribution by a private donor to date. You know, getting a good night's rest seems to be getting a little harder for some people. One trending hashtag on Twitter is PANDEMICNIGHTMARES. People are reported having more vivid dreams and nightmares relating to the coronavirus and trouble sleeping in general. Sleep experts say that's normal in times of stress. They suggest keeping to a regular schedule, decreasing how much caffeine you're taking in during the day, and implementing a calming routine before bedtime.
Now, your 2 Works For You weather, sponsored by Executive Homes.
Such a nice mild night outside, although it looked like a few storms are trying to build up a little earlier tonight, Brandon.
That's right, Karen. We had a few sprinkles earlier across eastern Oklahoma, but for the most part, we're tracking the smoke across the area that came down from the north today. Take a look at our Executive Home Sky 2 drone, and I flew it late this afternoon and early this evening over Midtown Tulsa, and it's scanning the skies there, and you can see that layer of smoke and also the clouds that came down from the north. You can see that layer of smoke up towards the north. There's downtown Tulsa, and as we look off towards the east, you can see that layer of smoke continuing. So what is that all about with the smoke across the area today? So the winds with the front blew it in from the north. Ranchers burn their land this time of year, so we're getting that smoke from the land that the ranchers burn this time of year. And also I was told that controlled burns are going on at the Tallgrass Prairie Preserve around the Pawhuska area, just to the north of Pawhuska as well. So that's where that smoke is coming in down from the north. 76 degrees is your current temperature. North wind strong behind that cool front, upwards of 19 miles per hour, setting the stage for cooler temperatures over the next several days. Our daytime high today was record setting at 93 degrees. Those temperatures now 73 in Pryor, also in Muskogee, 66 in Stigler, and 64 in McAllister. On the satellite loop here over the past couple of hours, notice off towards the southwest, more cloud cover is on the way. That cloud cover is coming in for tomorrow. On future track radar and the cloud cover, so overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, but if you step outside, you're going to probably smell that smoke. Again, that smoke coming down from the north. Then for tomorrow on your Thursday, partly cloudy skies in the morning, and then more cloud cover comes in, especially by your Thursday afternoon. But tomorrow does look dry once again. But again, those changes will be working in over the next couple of days, and those north winds will be continuing. By early tomorrow morning at 50 degrees, again, mostly clear skies. Tonight, north wind gusts upwards of 25. And also, you might smell the smoke outside. 47 in Bartlesville, 49 in Bristow, and 46 in Grove. And then for tomorrow, what a change. After 93 degrees this afternoon, we cool it off into the upper 60s tomorrow. Northeasterly winds upwards of 15 sustained, with partly to mostly cloudy skies, and we'll notice more cloud cover on the way for the afternoon hours. Take a look at the difference tomorrow in Muskogee, 67 degrees. Pryor at 66, and into the upper 60s in Seminole, close to 70 degrees. Your latest 10-day forecast, 63 degrees on Friday. A chance for showers and storms over the holiday weekend, including Easter itself. And then for next week, those morning lows into the 30s with daytime highs into the 50s. And I should mention our earliest 30-degree temperature coming on your 10-day forecast is Friday morning, down to 37 degrees. Don't forget, you can download our free Storm Shield app from the